Comment on what I'm doing around me, asshole. I gotta eat my dinner and go to bed. Beat my fucking dick. Mommy about ass. My Francis girl. My monarchy fucking shit. You got that right. But new music, we're gonna do some of that. I mean, that's all I got. I'm gonna explode like a champagne bottle when I decide to pop the cart and finger snap. New Music Complex was cool. It had a vibe to it. I've been to a billion of those fucking places, and they all. I've been to a billion of those fucking places in my life. If you lived in New York City in the '80s, you probably been to a billion of those places too. I've been to a billion trailers, little trailers that were broken up for bands, where there's three bands in one trailer playing. That's the kind of shit we got up here. We got those other rooms where the rooms are covered in cheap outdoor carpeting and the walls are covered in ozite and outdoor carpeting. This it's there's a bunch of smoke detectors in there. People put cigarettes out on the wall. You know, if you got an upscale practice room, that's what I'm talking about. Practice rooms. If you got back then, what like 25 years ago, they'd be I think $40 for maybe 2 hours or something. And they provide the PA, which is just enough to get your shit off. They provide you a beat up drum set with busted skins, busted cymbals, a couple of 57 field mics, maybe, and just enough to do your thing. And if you got like the deluxe room, you got a cigarette burned couch, and you could sit back and sit down on a couch that people have been fucking on, shooting up on, puking on. But New Music Complex in Albany off Westgate Plaza, that place had a fucking vibe. They kept spray painting my name up there for years, man. It was great. I kind of owned the place after a while, and motherfuckers would live there. Jesse from the Derogatories used to live there. This guy Buggy used to live there, who actually drove a dune buggy, or not a dune buggy, but like one of those miniature go karts, and he was crazier than a motherfucker. And by day, it was a music star out front, and I bought a champagne pink Slingerland there that I couldn't afford, and Tim had to get it. Tim still got it. That was my drum set, 78 champagne fucking pink sparkle. And I used it on the Corvettes. But we used to go there with the Broadway Drunks. We used to go there with the Derogatories. We used to go there. I used to play there with all them guys, the, especially the Erotics. That was our preferred venue. I did a couple of Fat Mookin gigs there, and me me and Ted especially would frequent there, like total fucking hookers. We would just be there night after night with these bands, and after hours when the store closed, it was either, you could live there. There was and that's what people did. They lived in their practice room. It was a cool place to be under the stars on an Albany night in the spring, and and there was lots of good music made there. But I've been to a billion of those places, and usually they fucking suck. They smell. They're just dirty. We used to play over at the Butcher Block too, behind the Butcher Block. I forget the name of that place, but off of Central Ave, down by behind the old Butcher Block on near Computer Road or something. And we used to play there with Fat Mookin a lot. We used to play there with the Miserables a lot, and the Corvettes. I forgot about that. The Corvettes used to play there too because Danny had a lot of money. You'd go there, they'd have leather couches. They'd have a 10-foot high stage. They had Marshalls and Hughes and Kettner and Laney's, and you could take your pick from Ampeg amps. They were all in one room. I think those were about $80 back in 2000 for an hour. And they had besides the PA built in, they had like a tape deck or whatever, or a computer and a CD burner you can use, refreshment machine that had soda or beer. But when I think of new music, I think of the door was always open because everybody we knew either lived there or rehearsed there. And New Music Complex. I haven't thought about it in years. That term sets me back. I can't think of the name of the fucking music store in front of it though, because that was the place that owned the shit. But after night fell, you'd get the derogatories in there working on I remember going there and seeing them work on Tie You Up, Gorilla Rape, you know, songs like that. And I'm thinking these guys are fucking great. These two brothers, they were so fucking loud, and they wanted so badly to be like the Ramones, but I thought they were fucking better. Jay, his brother, Jesse, and the singer guy, I forget his name. All those songs were constructed back there at like Born to Destroy, the Derogatories, all that shit. Rocky Velvet was there, everybody was there. But mostly I remember we had full reign of the motherfucker. After 8 o'clock, the back door would be open and Buggy, the crazy guy that used to live there, would be riding around in his go-kart and anything went. But it was cool. If that's back when people used to sleep at their practice places. I remember meeting Jesse there for the first time. I seen him on stage a bunch of times, and he's asking me, "Oh, you live with your girlfriend?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Oh, that's good. In-house pussy." And that became a song just because he said that to me. He's like, "Oh, in-house pussy. That's cool." I'm like, "Yeah, in-house pussy." But we were there all week. You'd see on like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. Yeah, we were there. Me and Ted were there, and that's why they started. Like they used to have. They put Rudy Two Times. Does everything on the wall and spray paint because I was there all week long. And you just bring Ted, and then you got the Corvettes there, and I brought them over. That was fun. There was just a vibe about it, but it looked like every other place you ever been to. It just sucked. But the vibe was there. There was some kind of magic that was going on at that place. No, it wasn't Parkway, was it? Was it the first Parkway music, or were there two Parkways? Or maybe it was called New Music. I don't remember. But that place had vibes. Over by Westgate Plaza. I just remember waiting on the bus line there after on Sundays with the erotics. And yeah, there was two rooms. You get one or two, and they were both equally as good. I liked room number one. It was tighter, smaller, and it was a tiny bit cleaner. But you were all in there face to face. It was like a jail cell. And I remember me and Mike doing a lot of shit in both those rooms. When I think about the erotics, I think about both those fucking rooms. Rooms one and two at New Music, and I think of Max Tracks and the other place in Albany. Yeah, down the road. A lot of fucking great music out of there. It will never happen again. You had like 5 or 6 bands. I was in all of them. They totally own that place.